Miranda, and today I'm here to react to the new trailer for season 3 of Nancy Drew. I'm so excited for it to get back. Like, I will say this trailer coming out now, like, has me officially pumped. Like, I feel like I have to go into, like, mode of, like, not caring as much about the show to survive the hiatus, you know, in the summer, and just be like, I don't miss it at all. But now that the trailer's back, I'm like, I miss it. I miss it a lot, man. I can't wait to see my little Drew crew back on the screen. And the funny thing I realized sitting down to do this trailer reaction is, as opposed to a lot of other trailer reactions, this one isn't a full season. I don't even know. It might just be the first episode. You know, it might just be like the trailer you'd see for the next week's episode at the end of the week now with this. So this might be the first episode going back. It also might be like maybe spliced together a couple episodes, because I feel like right now they only have like 5 episodes filmed. You know, they don't even have the full season written, probably, let alone filmed. They have an outline, I'm sure, but I'm sure they don't have it all filmed. So it's just funny that like they can't show a whole season, a plot, a progression. Like, there could be whole other things that we have no idea that happen, and they don't even know they happen yet, that are going to happen, because this is just the first episode. So yeah, let's check it out. Carson. Jeez. What? She's gonna... What? Hey, it's the Moore guy that I love. What was that? Alright, screw this. We're going by this piece by piece, because that was so ridiculously quick. So we've got all the books fallen. Shadow of someone in the sun doing something creepy. That looks like Nancy, but then to me that looks like Nick's shadow. I don't know. And we've got Ace. Oh, I guess maybe that was their shadows and that's her shadow, since she has 2 people in her. That's Temperance. Okay, so this must be the big Temperance reveal. That's the Wraith, so that's all last year's stuff. Is that Ace or is that Carson? I think that's Carson, right? Or maybe it's Nick. That's not Ace. Once again, Ace and Nancy are right next to each other. This I don't understand. Oh, it must be them trying to wake themselves up from the sleepwalking, because he looks like he's still asleep holding a toaster, and she got electrocuted holding a hairdryer in the water, so that must be them trying to wake themselves up. So I wonder how they realize they're sleepwalking. I don't know anything about tarot cards, or else this would probably be helpful. This also must be part of the dream, because ain't no way that they are pushing this quickly. Like, this is the slow burn of all slow burns, so there is absolutely no way that they're really kissing, unfortunately. I will be curious to see what happens with the road trip, because I thought the road trip was supposed to be like all summer, but then I read on Tumblr that this episode is supposed to take place like a week after the last episode or something like that. So clearly he cancels his road trip early and calls it, and I feel like, is Amanda gonna be happy about that? Like, if it's just because Nancy needs help, you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense for Ace and who his character is. I think he'd do that for any of them, but I don't think Amanda's gonna be super appreciative of that, especially after she, you know, basically, I'm rightfully so, but like left Gil, you know, after he was being such a mope about the breakup and everything. This, I literally cannot tell who it is. Like, I have it as light as I can, and I can't even tell you who it is. I really can't. It looks like someone with a mask on, too, is the confusing thing. And someone with a mask on doesn't even look out of place in this COVID world, so I'm just like, oh, that's a normal thing. This is crazy. This must be how she tries to wake herself up, but oh my gosh, girl. There's electrocuting yourself, and then there's setting yourself on actual fire. Plus, I'm curious how do they, like, how is their subconscious working with their conscience, that's like they're able to move around freely and not like grab things, basically, essentially, and pour gasoline on themselves, but then they're also in the dream. And then, okay, that's someone locking Jordan. Who was that? Is that Temperance? It goes so quick. No, that's not Temperance. I don't know who that is. That's some old lady. Oh gosh, I wonder if maybe Temperance is gonna start the Woman in White back up or something. Like, maybe she has followers, you know, that are like, oh, this is the true Woman in White, like the true Temperance, or something like that. Because she's been around, even if she hasn't been in Horseshoe Bay. This, I also don't know who that is. I don't know who that man is. I'm sorry to this man. I could see him walking down the street. I don't know who that man is. Oh, Ace is holding something there too. What's he holding? Ace is holding like a bunch of boxes, it looks like. That's her and Ryan, so something happened with them. That's my Mort guy. I'm so glad that guy's back. I hope we get to see his kid. That guy was so funny, even though he hated Nancy. Is she still doing her community service in the Mort then? Because I feel like after all she went through, like she should totally be done with that. Then this is a dead hand. I don't know who it is. This guys, it's just like so funny because it's like so not. It's probably gonna be like a projection of Ace or something like that, and that's what's gonna be used to distract her in her subconscious. I really wonder how she's gonna be with like last season. Like she fully kind of like was openly admitting to herself in a way that like she had feelings kind of romantic for Ace, like she was gonna go and talk to him about it or something. But I feel like now having that distance and then also his mom being like, oh, he left on this trip with Amanda, like I feel like that's gonna be like a step back for her. Like she's gonna be like, oh wait, I can never tell him how I feel. Like he's happy with Amanda, and I need to let him be happy with Amanda. And I think it's just funny because like I think her initial thing was like, oh, I need to go talk to him about this, which is good. That's a step in the right direction for her, especially since with the Wraith she spent a lot of the last season pushing people away. But I feel like now because she didn't get to talk to him, she's gonna be like, oh my gosh, that was like the universe giving us, like that was my chance. I could have blown it, like it made things super awkward between me and Ace and ruined him and Amanda, and like I need to be happy that that happened and just like keep my feelings bottled up. But like how is she gonna explain this if they start talking about like their dreamscapes and what happened? Like what is she gonna be like, oh just just casual, you know, solving some mysteries? Like, oh, it's so awkward. And I love it. That's Bess. Okay, I thought that was Nancy when I first saw her, but that's Bess almost getting stabbed in the eye, which is not great. This is my favorite picture, I think, right here, because it's the four people, I'm pretty sure, that live in the Drew house now. It's Nancy, her dad, her other dad, and I'm pretty sure Bess still stays there. So, like, I just love that, like, season 1 started as Nancy and Carson, like, living in this space, you know, kind of the elephant in the room was the missing, you know, presence of her mom, and now it's like we've got Bess, who's basically, let's be honest, Carson's second daughter, and now we also have Ryan, who, while being Nancy's actual father, is, again, let's be honest, Carson's son. Ew, what is that thing too at the end? Oh my gosh, it's like someone who something happened to his head. What the heck? Look at where I paused it. Oh, Kennedy, I love your acting. I wonder if that's the bag that Ace was carrying before. So I think this is all like going to be 1 or 2 episodes. Like maybe the first episode is the sleepwalking thing, then we get introduced to Temperance, or maybe the first episode is introduced to Temperance, and then the second episode is the sleepwalking thing. But I also feel like maybe it would be, I don't know, because I could see it being both ways of her like being like, I'm here guys, hi, nice to meet you, and then doing something. But I could also see it being pretty cool if like something happens and they're like, wait, what the heck is causing this? Like what's going on? And then Temperance, like it leads them to Temperance, and she's like, hey guys, thanks for the blood, Nancy, a wink, you know? Like I just think it's gonna be really interesting. And I did say at the end of the last episode, I'm not super in love with the whole Temperance idea. First of all, I don't really like adding witches into this show. I just have had bad experiences with book series and other TV shows that like add witches in as a thing after they've already established other things, and it just convolutes everything. I feel like, I mean, it does make sense because they have been using witch books and witch like spells to do things with the ghost, so it's not like completely out of left field. But if she's just gonna be like this overpowered villain that like is just constantly one-upping us or something like that, I think that could get a bit tedious at the end of the day. And then I also, too, don't love, and I said this before, I hate how it's kind of repetitive. The cycle is like we solve one problem, in solving one problem, we create another. And I think that was kind of what Carson was talking in the beginning of, like, you jump into a fire or, like, you jump off a cliff and it might solve one thing, but, like, everyone is now in another thing. And it just gets a little bit annoying. I'm especially, like, upset that they didn't play in more to the whole thing where the spirit boxes all got released at the end of, well, it was like season 1-ish, but season 2 kind of, you know, like that whole when it was wrapping up because of the weirdness of how it ended. I wish they had played more to that because that could be like something more indirectly caused, and I feel like, yeah, they caused it, but then like it would be like, okay, this is our mission, like getting back all these things, whereas I feel like this is going to be like, oh, Temperance is like our thing, but like she's going to start playing with them and it's just going to get super annoying and old. that's my fear. I hope that doesn't happen, and I do have to say they did a really good job last season, I think, of circumventing my expectations and really playing into the whole idea of using Nancy and her struggle with the Wraith as a metaphor for mental illness and depression. And I think they did that honestly so well. I've probably never seen that done as well, except for maybe that one episode of Teen Wolf where, you know, Scott almost like killed himself because there was a thing like messing with you and making you think like your worst thoughts. Like, I really feel like they have a lot of respect and love for these characters, and I feel like the actors have really become these characters. We're 3 seasons in now, like these are their characters, and their relationships and the dynamics are so great. I don't even want to talk about the Ace and Nancy stuff because I don't want to get my hopes up. I'm just going to go read some fan fiction and stay in my little corner and wait to see what actually happens, because I have no idea, like I said, what's happening with the road trip, Amanda, if Amanda and Gil are going to be back on this season or not. I think I read somewhere that Nancy is getting another love interest, which is fine because just keep her away from Detective Tomorrow. That man is too old for her, please. And like, it works into the slow burn, and like if we get to see jealous Ace after like Nancy knows her feelings, now if we get to see Ace being like, wait, why do I feel this way? Why do I like not like, because I feel like with Gil he didn't like seeing them together, but that was also because Gil was a dick, you know? So I feel like he could brush that off as like, oh, Gil was a dick, that's why I always got uncomfortable seeing them. But if it's someone like nice and not Gil, then I feel like it's going to be a little bit harder for him to be like, wait, why am I not liking this? So there's just a bunch of stuff I'm looking forward to seeing, and yeah, I'm just really, really excited. I have like 0 predictions, 0 thoughts, just so much hope for Ace and Nancy. And maybe a George and Nick wedding, that would be really cute too. Beth getting another love interest would be cute now that she said goodbye to Odette. And yeah, there's just a lot. So if you have any theories or predictions, or you noticed anything in the trailer that I didn't see, please feel free to leave your thoughts about it down in the comments. Also make sure this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!